Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at this EDEUOEY aluminum folding camping table. And this was provided to me by the distributor, but they're not compensating me for this video and they're not reviewing it before I post it. If you find this video helpful, I'll put a link in the description of this, and if you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So the first thing I notice about this is it's very lightweight. So this whole thing is 30 ounces, or 1 pound 14 ounces. Or 861 grams. So it comes in this bag, and we have two parts. We have the base, and we have the top. So this is aluminum construction here, aluminum here, and we have plastic feet with rubber on them. This has bungees to hold it closed, so that'll open on its own. And then we have the base here. So if you didn't want to use the bag, you might want to throw like a hair band or something on here to hold this, or some kind of bungee to hold it together so this doesn't flop out here. This is the stand, and this opens up similar to a folding chair a lot of people would be using. I'll get a better angle on that there. So these two pieces here fold over to lock it in place. I'll get a close-up of this. So this piece has a little hole in it right here, and there's a little peg there in the bottom of that bracket. So when you put this together, you want to make sure that's lined up. So I'll stick that in here. And that is connected now. And I want to make sure it bottoms out on that plastic. That means the pin is in the proper place. So I'll do that on this side now. Okay, that looks good. Next I want to put on the top. So I'll just have that upside down, and I'll put the table frame under it. Get these bungees out of the way. And it has these bars here and here on the outer slats that you want to press these notches into. Here's a little better view of that. So I'll press that down. I'll do that on all four corners. There we go. And now I'll flip it over. So I'm going to switch views so we can have a better look at this. Okay, I have the table set up on the ground now. And you can see here in relation to a typical folding chair. So I'll get some measurements on this. For about 15.5 by 13.5 by just under 13 inches. So I dug into my camping gear here for some things. And I have here's some plates here. And we have a couple cups. Okay, so I placed two place settings on here, and I'm not saying this is absolutely the way you should use it with 2 plates, 2 cups, and 2 spoons. I'm just doing this so you can get an idea of what the size is. So if we're camping, we would probably use this more like an end table. So if our chairs were around the fire ring, we'd probably put the table between the chairs. And then we could use it to put our drinks on. So if you have a water bottle, those typically will fit in the camping chairs. You can stick it in the arm. But if you have a cup, or if you have a mug or something like that, you can't put that in the chair. So this table's perfect for that. You could have 1 or 2 mugs on it. This might be a little cramped if you had 2 people eating from it, but typically what we'll do is we'll sit down and we'll hold our plate while we eat. But sometimes you need to set your plate down while you're getting up to get something, or for whatever reason. And it's nice having a little table to do that. So you can set your plate down, you can get up, you can go get more food or whatever. You can sit down, grab your plate, and start eating. This thing is so lightweight. You could take it to, say, the ball fields on the weekends when you're watching one of your kids play. You could have a younger kid sitting at this, having a snack. You could take this to the beach to put some food on, or your drinks on the beach to keep it off the sand. I think there's a lot of versatility in a little table like this. We have a decent sized 2-burner propane stove, and it wouldn't really fit on here. It's too big for this. But you could fit a smaller stove on here, a small camping stove, or even one of those small butane stoves. You could put that on here. And it has an aluminum top. Now, I don't know that you'd want to get this scorching hot, but those types of stoves are meant to be on a wooden picnic table, and this can withstand the same heat as a wooden picnic table pretty easily. And one nice feature about this too is this is waterproof. So if it gets dirty, you can just spray it off. I've seen camping tables that are made of the same cloth that folding chairs are made of, and those would be more difficult to deal with if they got wet. I mean, you could wet them down and dry them off. But this thing would be easy. You could wash it down, you can dry it off with a paper towel and pack it away right away. And that's what it looks like if you're using it for one place sitting. If you're camping with a group of friends, I would probably buy a couple extra of these and you could sell them to your friends, because I think they'll be kind of jealous when they see what you have. Now when I first saw this, I thought of another use for it. And I'm not condoning people bring their electronics on a camping trip, but you could put your laptop on here. And this table's lower, so you'd have to hunch over to type on it. But like I was talking about with your food before, is you could set your computer on here. You could sit back in your chair, pull the laptop up into your lap to use it, And then when you need to get up, you could set the laptop on this table instead of throwing it on the ground. Lots of campsites we go to have picnic tables, and we do tend to use those, but it's nice having your own table for certain things. The picnic tables can be pretty disgusting at times. So here are a couple things you're not going to want to do with this, is that it does have plastic end caps here, okay? So you want to make sure you don't put this too close to a fire because these could melt. So as I was talking earlier, if you're sitting around a campfire, you might want to set this next to your chair as opposed to in front of you, so this isn't between you and the fire. Because if it's sitting back at the same level a person is sitting, it's not likely that these will melt. And if you start getting hot, you can move back, and then you can move your table back too. Another thing is this seems like it would make a perfect footstool, but I don't know that I would put my feet on here. I mean, it's pretty darn strong, but yeah, I mean, a heavy person could potentially ruin it. And it'd be kind of gross to put your feet on the table you may eat food off anyway, and I wouldn't be sitting on it either. But there are trade-offs to be had because this is a very light table. So if you want something to sit on, bring a chair. And if you want something to put your plate on, bring this. So another thing to consider with a table like this is it's pretty lightweight, which is an advantage when you're carrying it around. But the wind could potentially topple it over. If you've ever been camping when it's windy out, the wind could come along and it'll blow chairs over, it'll blow tarps over, rain flies, you name it. If you do like to camp in the wind, you could take a table like this and just take a tent stake, a wire tent stake, and just put one on each corner. You could even do two of the corners if they're in solid enough ground. Even small stakes would make this very sturdy on a very windy day, I think. So when you're done using it, you can just pop the top off. Then this just folds up. It's an accordion style. You take the bungees, put it over each end, like so. That'll slide into the bag. And I just noticed this bag has a pocket for both pieces. There's a divider in here. That's kind of nice. That'll keep them from scratching each other. So to take this apart, you want to take these cross braces out. I'll just press like that. On this side, do the same. These will fold all the way over. And then it just folds up like that. Now you can see these parts that hang out like this. I'm not going to stick it in the bag like this because when I'm pulling it out later that could snag. I'll make sure those are facing down. That way I can hold it in with my hands as I put it in the bag and they won't snag when I take it out later. There we go, and we can cinch that up. That's all ready to go. So that's the EDEUOEY aluminum folding camping table. If you have any questions about this, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.